Welcome to Jeju Island, South Korea. Spectacular views, clear turquoise waters and unimaginable beauty. Did you know that Jeju Island was created by an underwater volcano eruption 2 million years ago, and we are actually standing on volcanic rock? Jeju is also called the Hawaii of the South. No wonder it is a retiree's dream destination. Hi everyone, I'm John, one half of the corporate breakout couple. In 2020, my wife, friend and I broke out of the corporate race and retired young. We have been traveling around the world ever since and looking for retirement destinations. In today's video, we'll bring you the living experience in the eyes of a foreigner retiring here. And what is it like? How much does it cost? Will the food be expensive? Will transportation be easy? How much does it cost to rent over here? And all that. Before we continue, we will appreciate it if you hit the like button and subscribe to our channel to join our YouTube family.
So what's Jeju all about? Well, Jeju is extremely windy for one, and here we are at the cliffs and we and the camera nearly got blown off. Jeju Island is triple awarded by UNESCO as a biosphere reserve, a World Natural Heritage and a global geopark. So it's needless to say that the entire island is a huge tourist resource. Seeing that Jeju is an island, it is actually surrounded by 3 seas: the Yellow Sea, East China Sea and the Sea of Japan. When you arrive in Jeju, get ready to exercise as Jeju excels in outdoor options with stunning beaches, 100 over mini volcanoes to hike. There's lots of walking trails which circles the entire island, and you've got lots and lots of beach outdoor activities. If you're a nature lover and you love exotic plants, flowers and animals, you can head over to Halim Park where there's lots of nature for you to gawk over, and you can easily spend the entire day there. Jeju is very renowned for the seafood because it's so fresh, like abalone, squid, sashimi and mackerel. And during the cold seasons, people eat seafood soup and meat noodles. Of course, you can still find the usual suspects like fried chicken, sandwich shops, cafes, and coffee joints. Jeju is very famous for their seafood, so we're in this local restaurant that serves mainly seafood dishes, and we ordered a grilled mackerel and we have abalone as well, accompanied with all the side dishes. Now, this place is extremely local, so the menu, if you see here, they are all purely in Korean. Therefore, how do you read? Very simple. We get by in Korea with this Papago app where you can translate everything into English for you. A nice hearty lunch for 2 people is around 40,000 to 50,000 won. Black pork is very famous in Jeju, and what we have here grilling is black pork belly and black pork neck, and the guy is grilling it for us. And look at all the side dishes that we have to accompany it. We also ordered a stew, and so we are in for a good lunch. Cheers! This very filling and delicious black pork lunch with 3 beers cost 63,000 won. Jeju is famous for their tangerines, and here I am drinking a tangerine smoothie and it tastes so good. The tangerine juices are also very nice. It's very different than when your normal orange juice. And here I am sitting in a cafe overlooking the sea. It is such a wonderful feeling to just relax and calm your mind and looking out there into the endless horizon. Time just seems to stand still when you're just looking into the endless horizon and the ocean. Eh? Where's John? He hasn't spoken to me in a while. There he is! What a fantastic hot coffee in a chilly day. We are now currently chilling in a cafe in Jeju, and it's so amazing. It's so pretty. This is a tangerine tree. Look at the tangerines. Most of our meals are had in local restaurants like this, where we'll order Jeju's famous specialties. For example, like the tangerine makgeolli, very famous and delicious. And then of course, we'll also order black pork dishes like this stir-fried pork dish and some seafood as well. A meal like this with so many dishes is 54,000 won.
Behind me is an example of a supermarket in Jeju. Well, they're not as big as the big cities like Seoul, but you do get all your necessary conveniences, your groceries, your household items, everything you need in to stay in a neighborhood like this. Jeju Island is huge, around 1,800 plus square kilometers, and what that means is you need to have a car. Highly recommended for you to go to do your grocery shopping. Each neighborhood would be equipped with a supermarket like this for all your cooking and household needs. Well, if you want somewhere nearer, there's always convenience stores spread everywhere such as CU and GS25. Traffic can be pretty light throughout the island with the exception of the north side near the airport at Jeju City. When you do drive on the road, do watch out for aggressive drivers around you because some of the locals are rather notorious for their driving, and even the bus drivers as well. Some recommended local apps for you to download is the Naver app, which is for navigation, as well as Kakao if you want to do ride-hailing. Jeju Island is huge, so in order to get around, one of the recommended ways is to rent a car. That would be actually the easiest, but of course it's the most costly option. Otherwise, you can take the public transport, which is the buses, and you have actually many different buses for you to choose from. There's different bus schedules and different buses that connects you from the north to the south, to the east, to the west. Let's explore car rentals in Jeju. Here's a great website for you, economy car rentals from different Korean-made cars, Kia and Hyundai. From small capacity like this one, Kia Morning, around 1 litre car, to a Hyundai Avante 1.6 litre, and then you go higher capacity as you scroll down. You have 7-seaters SUV, you have 9-seaters minibus even. So what are the prices like, you may ask? For the cheapest car is Kia Morning, going for USD 1,233 per month. Avante is going for about 1,006, and you have other cars like this one, Santa Fe is going for 2,005. Here are a few hacks for you if you want to reduce the monthly price. The first is to book way in advance, ideally 4 to 5 months in advance. And the second is to go for off-peak seasons. You can see there's cancelled pricing because it is being discounted. And finally, the last hack. Let's look at this Lotte Rent-A-Car site, which is huge in South Korea. If you get a membership price, you can get even further discount. So back to the original Kia Morning, say this one is at 1,233, you can get it as low as 8 to 900 USD after all the hacks. As a foreign retiree here in Jeju, you have plenty of housing options for you to rent. You can choose from landed housing of varying sizes to apartments in low-lying buildings. You can choose to stay in guest houses if you like the community feel, or you can choose the very affordable pension houses. In terms of locality, you have plenty of options as well. You can choose to stay near the heart of town, you can choose to stay in peaceful, quiet, serene neighborhoods, or near nature, near the parks, where you can go for walks easily. Let me orientate you to Jeju Island, which has 5 main parts essentially. Where you're facing now is the north, where the airport is. That's one of the biggest condensed city where one of the main residential area is. And then you have the south, it's called Seogwipo City, where you have breathtaking sights as well as a residential area. Then the less populated areas are your west and your east. Towards the west side, you have a lot of spectacular views and attractions. You have beaches like Hyokjae Beach, you have Halim Park, a very scenic nature park for you to visit, and then you have the Suwibong Peak, where you can overlook the cliff and see your sunset there, and other museums and beaches as well. Towards the east side, you have crystal clear beaches and wonderful nature to visit as well. You have your Seongsan area, which is a bit of a residential area towards the east. You can view your sunrise at the Seongsan Ichibong Sunrise Peak. You can also visit places like museums, other beaches like Gimyeong Beach too. And finally, you have Halasan Mountain right in the middle of the island, a shield volcano actually, the highest peak in the whole of South Korea. Plenty of hiking for you to do and nature trails. Here are some rental properties on this website, Rentberry. This is towards the north side, Jeju City. You have this one, for example, 998,000 won, roughly around 800 USD, 1 bedroom, 1 bath. Let's check it out. Here's what it looks like. You can see it's a very nice, quaint little place, about 780 USD, actually very prime location. Or you can look at this one, 3.15 million won, roughly around 2,460 USD. Here's a picture of it. It says Terrace Hill Resort. a studio, which is slightly more inland but also very prime location. Let's head towards the west side of Jeju Island, where it's a popular spot as well. This area, Yongsu-ri, you can see there's quite a number of different apartments ranging from 8.37 million to 1.31 million, which is around 1,000 USD. Let's check out this one, 2.76 million, Farmer in Stone. What does it look like? It's a studio apartment and looks very clean and neat. It's around 2,160 USD. Now we go towards the south side, which is a very popular city area as well, called Seogwipo. You can see there's many different apartments of different pricing. Let's check this one out, 12.97 million. I think it's around 10 or 11,000 USD. So yes, it's 10,140 USD. It's a 3-bedroom, 1-bath, a landed housing where you have plenty of space to do whatever you want. Now let's move over from the south to the east, the Seongsan area. Many different choices as well, 2.61 million won, 4.61 million won. Let's check this one out, 1.04 million won. It is, it's a pension and guest house. So what are pension houses? Pension houses are basically studios and smaller apartments where you can stay slightly off-center, which is more serene and quiet, away from the city, and a lot of retirees like to stay on. Like this one, very near to the sea, very nice, very clean. And guest houses are kind of like co-living, and sometimes the lines are a bit blurred. So let's check out more pension houses. I saw this one on booking.com, Dreaming Forest Pension, Seogwipo, which is near the south side, 1,253 USD. That's a very reasonable price for entire studio apartments. And here's what it looks like. Very nice for 2 people.
Jeju Island is huge, so if you choose to drive or even take a day tour, usually the tours will just concentrate on one part of the island. For example, let's say the west side, and you explore that side the whole entire day. If you have more than maybe 5 or 6 days in Jeju, then of course you'll want to rent a car to roam around the entire island, to go to places like Halim Park, Manjango Cave, Dongmun Market, Hamgyok Beach, Bijirin Forest, Eco Land Theme Park, Hyopjae Beach, and go for several hikes. The highest mountain in South Korea is actually in Jeju Island, which is Hallasan Mountain, standing at 1,947 meters. The area around the mountain is a designated national park, the Hallasan National Park. Lots for you to climb, hike, and see. Jeju Island is big enough that if you were to stay 1 or 2 months in Jeju, you still won't run out of things to do and see.
Here's the retirement budget costed for one person, one half of a couple because of shared resources such as a house and a car. It will be a foreigner couple. The budget highlights are for food, eating out 40% of the time and cooking at home 60% of the time because it's very far to get to eat out in Jeju, and therefore a car is needed as well. And for accommodation, I'm costing it for a pension house slightly off the city center. Here's for the food category an average cost in terms of price range for local eateries on the leftmost column to fast food restaurants, Korean and international ones, mid-tier cafes, restaurants, and high-end restaurants as well. I'm not talking about super high-end, of course, pretty much high-end, the kind of restaurants that you might want to eat 1 to 2 times a month. I've broken down in terms of breakfast and broken down in terms of lunch and dinner. And I've also included a section here for you to look at instant ramen meals because they're super popular in South Korea. The different coffee prices for takeouts and also eating or drinking in the cafe itself, and as well as local tangerine juice. Here's a high-level snapshot for average car price rentals. I've shown you earlier in the website. Here's a consolidation of the numbers for Kia Morning, a low-capacity 1.0 liter. It's roughly around 900 USD during off-season, and if you book in advance 4 to 5 months, plus getting a membership, you have the sedan, which is 1.6 liter, and then you have a 2.2 liter SUV at 2,100 USD per month. Let's look at the average rental cost from studio apartments all the way to 3-bedroom landed housing. Here's the average price broken down into Jeju City, North Side, Seogwipo, South Side, West Side, and East Side in terms of the price rental. And also, as mentioned earlier, there's a really low cost hostel dorm style, which I wouldn't recommend, between 3 to 500 USD per month. And then you go up to your guest houses with co-living facilities. Sometimes they are standalone, so the line is kind of blurred. And then you have your pension houses, which are small studio studio apartments, which I'll use for my budget later on. Here's the monthly living expenses costed for one person. For food, 40% eating out and 60% eating at home, that will be 750 USD. For household items, it will be 90 USD. For transport, a shared resource between two people, a Kia Morning with petrol and all that in, it will be 650 USD. For accommodation, a pension house shared by two people, 750 USD. So medical will be 40 USD a month, and under others, where you definitely want to have some budget for attractions, for entertainment in beautiful Jeju Island, there will be 400 USD, and that amounts to a total of 2,680 USD per month for one person. Now, if you run a quick comparison between my other video, cost of living in Seoul, which is budgeted for a working foreigner couple, that budget was around 3,200. And this budget is around 500 USD cheaper. So what's the difference? The difference is in the food and accommodation, which is cheaper in Jeju compared to Seoul. Now for car or for transport, we are comparing somebody who's taking a subway in Seoul versus somebody who's renting a car here in Jeju. So there's the difference in the budget as well. And of course, in Jeju, you don't spend as much money in terms of attractions, which mostly are free, shopping and entertainment. I'll be doing another video that's on Seoul retirement where you can do a more like-for-like comparison with Jeju. Jeju is an incredible place to retire in, spectacular views and amazing places to visit. And Jeju is very big, so you don't have to worry that you'll run out of places to visit and to enjoy. I hope this video has given you a very good in-depth look for you to consider Jeju to retire. We hope you have enjoyed this video. Do hit the like button and subscribe to our channel to join our YouTube family. See you soon! If you are interested in breaking out of the corporate 9-to-5 rat race or embark on your early retirement journey, do check out our Breakout Academy where we'll support you further on your goals.